Hello, Spectres. Spacey Ghost, back from the void. Hello. Good morning. How is everyone? I have moved my little face because I realized, like, oh, there's like usually a little progress bar that happens like on the side where my face is. That might be it might be a good idea to like switch things up a bit. I might still adjust it like once we get to those moments, if like it's still kind of like in the way of it and everything. But either way, hopefully the adjustments won't be like too drastic. Yeah, how's everyone? How has everyone's weekend been? Change. People don't do well with change. Suddenly there's like riots in the streets. Oh no. My camera's on the left and not the right. Whatever shall we do? Yeah, unfortunately this weekend I ended up not going to the beach. No. Last stream took a lot out of me. But it's okay, it's okay. Even though it says we're in the investigation, we're not. We're in the start of the trial. That's lies. The screen is lies. And so I'm hoping that the trial's gonna go better. Again, I don't know if last stream I just was like out of focus, or if it actually was as difficult to like kind of like suss out what we're supposed to do. I still can't get over like the one part where instead of like talking to someone like we usually do, I still can't believe like we had to like examine some dude like far off into the background just to like get further. Well, we don't have to worry about Star, yeah. I think all we have to do is worry about Gant. And even though he seems cheery, even though he seems cool, I don't think he actually is. I don't trust him. I mean, he's the chief of police. And the way he stares directly into our soul with like no music playing, it's so creepy. It's so terrifying. There's a lot to unpack with him. And I also like, I don't know if it's just because like I'm very protective of Edgeworth, but like I also hate that whole thing where like they clearly were hiding things from Edgeworth, but they like purposely like strategically made it so it was like Edgeworth's fault for like not like knowing the proper information. Like I still can't get over that. I still can't. I feel like he's gonna like I feel like that's gonna come into play more, like with us specifically. I don't like it. I don't like it. Let's start. Let's start and hope for the best. Yes. Let's save. Shit, did I not save? Oh no. Oh no, where are we? Maybe that wasn't full of lies. Oh no, where are we? How far have we gone? What are we supposed to do? Oh no, again I apologize. Oh no. Oh no. I literally do not know where we are. Hold on, examine. Is this... Shit. This is before the finger dusting. Oh, please tell me it's not all the way back when we were, like, just freshly examining things. Like, we have the things to examine. We have put together the unstable jar, which is also my current mood right now. It's okay. It's okay. We're just gonna walk around. just gonna walk around. Did we talk to Edgeworth yet? Oh no, this was before we talked to Edgeworth. Oh no. Okay, it's okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's how we're gonna solve this. Also, hi Becky. Welcome to the continuation of me suffering. We're gonna look up a walkthrough. Because if you get stuck, don't be afraid to use a walkthrough. I know there are some people that are just like, ooh, how dare you use walkthroughs? Like, oh, you should figure it out yourself. But sometimes it's better than just hitting walls constantly. Okay. We're in second investigation. Okay, so we have the white glove. Okay, I don't... Shit, this is really far. How did I not save? Okay, I think we have to spray the shit. Cause, like, hold on, let's look at the map. Is the map even, like, lit up with fluid? No, it's not. Shit. Shit. Also, if I should not be swearing, please let me know. This is just really difficult. It's okay, well, we're just gonna speed right through this. Home Alone, okay, cool. Shit. No, not present. Swear like a sailor, thank you. Nope, slide. Okay, I have to be in the court record. That's what I gotta do in order to spray. Okay. Spritz. Oh my god, there's blood at a crime scene. Oh my god. Who would have thought? Maybe it's alien blood. It is blue. Oh my god, this bloody handprint is bloody. Oh my god, who would have guessed? I knew it, this is someone's hand. Sound effects everywhere. Also, if we slide right on over, I believe there was blood here. Yes. This is actually legitimately shocking. Okay, so we have the pamphlet with the foreshadowing. And now we can talk to Edgeworth. And again, I'm gonna use a walkthrough because, like, who remembers all the shit we had to do with him? I still think the Blue Badger is important. More important than it looks like. We're just gonna quickly get right through this. Hello, Bellhop. Bellhop that clearly isn't from the hotel. Just Edgeworth's personal bellhop. Alright, we gotta talk to him. Gotta get all the details. Tomorrow's trial. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? No. No, we're not. Like, Edgeworth is very rightfully upset. Okay, present ID card record. That's right, because his name was on it. We're just like, dude, what the fuck are you doing here? Why were you listed here? Why did you come here? And he was asked to go, as you briefly saw, by Chief Gant. That very... So Gant is very clearly involved. He very clearly only asked Edgeworth to be here, specifically just so... I realize we're implying that Gant is the one who murdered. But no, he very clearly called Edgeworth here, just so they could specifically use his car to, like, cart off the body. Because again... Shit, no. Because again, like, the whole premise of this case is just like, shit, 2 different detectives were killed at the exact same time, even though they have the exact same ID number and name and identity. Clearly 2 different people, and not just the same person that's been, like, carted off to a different location. Screwdriver added to court record. Present Goodman's note. Was it this? Goodman's note. Oh, the note as in the SL9 thing? That's old, though. What do you mean by note? Oh, nope. Clicking too fast. Okay, we have to talk to him in allegations of forgery. If anyone out there is watching this and has missed the last stream, I apologize for skipping so further into this. And this is where we get the powder. Okay, I think I'm safe to get out of the... walkthrough now. Okay. See you, Edgeworth. See you in 5 seconds. Time to do some dusting. I don't know how many of you guys are into, well, I guess just the McElroys in general. I listen to, like, a lot of their content. There was one podcast, I think it was, like, a Max Fun, like, specific thing. I think it's not something they just have, like, on iTunes. There was, like, a specific, like, show they did, Taz Elementary, where they were, like, Sherlock Holmes, but also vampires. And every time I think about dusting for fingerprints, I just think of the bit when they're like, yes, I'm gonna dust the dust for prints. Oh no. Alright, even though... Dust. I was just gonna go right to Gumshoe's thumbprint, but I guess we're not allowed to. Yes, and we gotta bap all the things. We gotta bap so hard. So very hard. Cover it all up. Make sure it's all dusty. And blow. Yay, perfect. So when I first was playing this game, when I originally played this, it was back in high school. And that was back when, like, you know, I was, like, freshly new to the series and just, like, intensely, like, obsessed with, like, playing all of the games just, like, as fast as I could. And to the point where, like, I would sneak my DS, like, to school. And, like, I knew, like, the teachers that either were absent a lot more than they should have been. Looks at my drama teacher. Or just as long as like you got your work done, they just didn't care. Like I knew which teachers where I could like just pull out my DS and just like pretend I wasn't totally breaking rules. This part was so hard. Was so hard to do, like between class times or like during class times, because like on the DS you literally had to like tap on the screen and you literally had to like physically like blow into the mic. Let's get a clear fingerprint. Also, whenever I did have my DS at school, I would always, like, sit as close to, like, an outlet as I could and just, like, picture, like, small me just, like, nervously having my DS, like, plugged in and, like, carefully, like, hidden by my backpack. Just, like, nervously waiting for the right moment where a teacher would leave the room so I could just quickly, like, pull it out and just, like, blow and then, like, shut it and toss it aside. And blow. Alright, time to point out whose thumbprint this is. Compare. Wrong button. Compare. Sorry, Gumshoe, you did it. Man, who would have thought? Do I examine? Yeah, I examine. Check for prints. Alright. Again, they want us to do this. But no, this is false. This is false. What we want is a thumbprint that they wouldn't expect. But wait, last time it was Cowboy. Yeah. What this is gonna show is that it's not Gumshoe. Gumshoe, I was kidding. I will always love you. I could never suspect you of a murder. You're too sweet for that. With this, spoilers, but we're gonna show that it's actually... Jake Marshall. Cowboy Jones. Have we made the joke that Gumshoe's the best himbo? Maybe. We might have. But, like, it needs to be said more often. Best himbo by far. Man, it's so hard. It's so hard. Like this case. I mean, maybe things will come to light during the trial, like more. But whoever did this, whoever killed Goodman, whether it be the first or the second Goodman, it's either Jake Marshall or Damon Gann. It's one of those two. Alright, here we go. We're caught up officially. Alright, trial former. Either way, like, those two were clearly working together. Hey, good evening, little investigator, back from dance practice. Ooh, I didn't know you took dance lessons. Ooh. How was it? How'd you do? What type of dance do you do? So what do you think, Mr. Wright? We could be slightly fucked. I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. Yeah, because they're purposely making them confused. After all, the victim... Oh, Lana? Lana! Where'd you come from? The victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning. I apologize for yesterday, I was indisposed. But also there's like a big question as to like why she's so determined to just like be guilty. That also doesn't make sense to me. They didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished actually. I'm used to the all-nighter stuff. Yeah, she's probably on the other side of them. It is as Mr. Wright suspects, the police are clueless. What else don't we know? I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? I agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you. Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. This guy. We found trace evidence of a certain person at the police department's evidence room. They belonged to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. Guess. Galaxy says... Oh, that was terrible. We're doing a end-of-the-year party with my city animation group. I'm gonna help be a guide on the dance floor and help for making the decorations. Oh, nice! That's gotta be a lot of fun. I mean, it sucks to hear. But like, hopefully the more you help out, the less terrible it will be of an experience. I hope that made sense. I'm here for you, Galaxy. Yes, that's the card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're gonna accuse Mr. Marshall? Correct. We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. I mean, why else? One, were his hands bloody? And 2, why was he there to begin with? I mean, I guess he could have, like, rushed in while things were happening. That would make sense why he also wouldn't be wearing gloves, because, like, the other person was wearing gloves, they were careful. But, like, if someone just, like, rushed in and accidentally got blood on their hands... Hold on, let me step backwards. If someone just, like, rushed in, like, possibly after Officer Meekins and, like, the person, like, went in there, like, he wouldn't think to, like, put on gloves, and he wouldn't think, like, oh shit, I'm getting blood all over my hands. So many possibilities in this case. So many things to think about. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... as confused as ever. I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible. What's more, here the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. And the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I wonder how that happened. I wonder. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Hold on, let's look at the times again. So... 5:14. That's when the body... That's when the time of death was. What's 30 minutes from 5:14? Around like 4:45-ish. Which is around when like Miles Edgeworth and the mysterious second person got in there. So again, he probably died there, got shoved in his trunk, and then without Edgeworth realizing, Edgeworth like drove to the parking lot. That takes 30 minutes. And then at around like 5:15 is when like Lana like found the body in the trunk. And also when the fake Goodman like showed up in the evidence room. Ah, by the way, I got news from my crush after 2 weeks of no news during vacation where they are. Oh boy! That's nice, that's lovely. Like, it sucks that they just, like, weren't contacting you, but they were on vacation. Sometimes there's just, like, no service, and it sucks for both parties. Plot twist, they spent their entire vacation tired and without sleep schedule and feeling bad. Oh, no, that sucks. Like, that must really fuck them up. Like, I can imagine, like, as soon as they get back from their vacation, just, like, going on, like, a week-long coma. Just to catch up. You're now back to class and I feel bad. Oh. Yeah, don't feel bad. Eventually, they'll be, like, well enough to, like, be able to keep in contact with you again. Hopefully. And hopefully soon. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder of the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things. Wow, Edgeworth, such a top. Even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait. I mean, at least even when the chips are down, he can still, like, retain a sense of confidence. Unlike us. Unlike us that are just, like, drenched in sweat. And just, like, nervously, like, twitching over by our defense table. Galaxy says, already sent a text to tell me how they were feeling. I'm at least glad to have news. Yeah. Yeah, at least there's that. At least it's not just, like, more silence. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. Is it Meekins? It would have to be Meekins. Because he's the one who, like, rushed in. And he's the one that was called for questioning. The suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Yes. Those are kind of exclusive. Things are getting wild from the get-go. Hi, Meekins. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Also, like... as ridiculous as Meekins looks... like, I kind of don't like how over the top, like, pathetic they keep making him out to be. Like, even down to, like, how they draw him compared to the other sprites. He deserves better. Meekins deserves better. Hashtag 2021. Justice for Meekins. Yes, sir, I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir. No, Meekins. So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Oh boy, you know, looking at Meekins, you wouldn't expect it. Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir. Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is... Sir, I'm what you would call part of the younger generation. Person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Oh, are you a Gen Z? Is there a term for, like, younger than Gen Z? I feel like there is, but I can't think the words. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish, sir. After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir. Meekins, please think for yourself. Please. You worry me, Meekins. You really do. You can't fault him for lack of enthusiasm. Makes me wonder how old he is. Hold on. Can we look? How old are you? 22. Oh, he's not that bad. He's like 2 years younger than us. Oh no. Not dust in your eye. Also, I had to create a Facebook account in 2021 to talk to one of my friends after not having news during 2 weeks at the same time as well. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, I love how his testimony is just crime report, sir. Man. I remember when Facebook used to be like the hip like place for like young people, and now it's just like where everyone's parents and like, I don't know, older people like get their news information. Though it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. Why do I get the feeling that like he was already awake, but they just felt like slapping him anyways? Also, I forgot if we've already said or discussed, but like when we talked to Jake Marshall, like he should have been on duty, like watching everything happen at the security cameras, but he specifically says like, oh, I wasn't looking at the cameras, I wasn't in the room. Probably because he was disguised as Detective Goodman. Probably. That's what I assume. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Like, also, Meekins has never met Goodman. And he was only attacked after Meekins asked him to see his ID, as you would, in that position, in his position. And clearly, Jake Marshall and Detective Goodman do not look the same, despite, like, him maybe, like, trying to cosplay as him. And only attacked him to, like, avoid raising any suspicion, or just him instantly clocking, just like, hey, wait a minute, these don't look the same. Yes, sir. Knock me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. And by that, pressing. Galaxy says, well, technically I didn't even open it. I just created the account. To open it, you have to send a text invitation to everyone in your contacts at Facebook. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, like... Facebook is so freaking awful. I opened it once to make the messenger account to talk to her. I'm never using it again. Smart. No, like, me and a bunch of my friends and stuff started a new D&D campaign. But, like, for some reason, how everyone's communicating is through Facebook, and I just refuse. Like, no. No, thank you. No, thank you. Like, technically I have a Facebook, but, like, I know as soon as I open it up, I'm not gonna like what I see. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes, now there's a scary thought. You're in charge of things, Meekins. Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant any officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. Making sure no one accidentally steals him. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir, the lovely police mascot created by the chief detective, sir. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. Or clearly you failed, because look at it. Look at how sad he is, and damaged. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. Sounds very, an important mission. Also, Facebook doesn't accept usernames, so my now official name is Galaxy Bowser. You know, I'm not surprised. Galaxy isn't accepted, but Galaxy is. That's weird. I've seen, like, weirder names on Facebook. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around. I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. See, even more reason why the Blue Badger is gonna be important in, like, a hot minute. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? Spotted a suspicious man on the security screen. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here. Yeah, for some reason when we tried showing, like, that paper to him, for some reason, like, he didn't have any information for us. Maybe they were saving it for this moment, but, like, still, I feel like he should have been like, oh yes, this is my ID number, here you go, like what we did with Edgeworth. Galaxy says, I can't use English words, I think, since I'm on French Facebook, but that's weird. And Bowser's an existing last name, so yeah. I don't know, I think that's weird, because, like, there are English names. Or names that use English words, I should say. I feel like that should be a thing. So I take it the 498 is him? Can you please read us the number? Yes, sir. Okay. So the 498 is his number. I see. But the number 4989596 is shown to be used twice. You know what? Now, I could be mixing up, like, the order of events, but I wonder if, like, after he got knocked out, if they used his ID card, like, while he was passed out. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I oh, okay. It's when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. So it's during that second time when... Stop, everyone. Stop, assistant. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. How have you been? Just came in for a quick hello. I'm glad you have. I'm glad you did. 77777, or in other words, 7 sevens. Yeah, that's the only one. That's the only one that we haven't, like, figured out. I know this isn't updated yet, but it will. I don't know why, but I have a weird... I don't know why, but, like, I just want to assume that because it's such, like, a plain, like, basic number, it's just, like, a bunch of 7s. Like, it feels like someone of authority would have that ID number. Like, I don't know why. I feel like the 7s were a made-up badge number. That could also be a possibility. Like, maybe someone, like, fudged an ID. It's like a fake ID or something. Also, I've been great. Just took the weekend to, like, relax, chill. Assistant says, I want to talk more about the Arknights R6S collab. You definitely can. Hell of a Boss episode 6, that was good. Oh man, I still have yet to watch it. I haven't had time. Okay, now the data is updated. Like, I have it in my watch later. But like, I haven't had time. And already looking at the thumbnail, I know it's gonna be a good episode. Our R6S collab was super good. It's quite surprised by how well it meshed. Also, it made me love the R6S characters we got. Good. Because, like, when you hear about a collab like that, you just think to yourself, like, how is that gonna work? Like, why? But I'm glad it all worked out and, like, got together like that. And plot twist is the Blue Badger. Because he's our lucky badger. Yes. That would be so cute. Like, not only them, like, making the Blue Badger, but just, like, seeing Gumshoe. Just, like, making a little fake, like, paper ID, just, like, handwriting the 7s on there. So, you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir, a knife. Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You weren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. That's when I reacted, sir. Swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's why I got his gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept it cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. Grabbed the man by his collar. Oh. I wonder... Hold on. Wrong one. Wrong picture. I wonder if all that blood then, assuming that she's for some reason wearing Goodman's coat, I wonder if that's the blood from when he fought, when Meekins fought. Assistant said, it's a great world building for Arknights, but comparing Arknights to the real world, the boss was complete ass though. Oh. Well, not everything can be a winner. Not everything can be perfect. Ew. Galaxy says, well, I was just gonna say, I think episode 6 probably surpassed episode 2 for me. Like, things were already getting, like, pretty, like, hyped and exciting after, like, episode 5 for me. Like, I didn't really like the first half of the episode, but, like, once... The latter half of episode 5, though. Really nice. Really good. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. He took his knife. Meekins, what do you have? A knife? No! Meekins! I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. Made sure to close my eyes like a man. Why did you close your eyes? Next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in the sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew, he punched me right in my face, sir. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Fair. Right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it's around 5:30. Hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean... It's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. I mean... Yeah, only one thing remains unclear. Like, we say he's a witness, but, like, he didn't actually witness his own, like, events of the crime happening. Assistant says, who thought it was a good idea for a 3-phase boss with temporary invincibility while spawning lots of tiny creatures per second that will swarm you and go through your defenses if you don't have any good AoE? Oh no. It was so bad it became trending on Twitter. Oh no. That is horrible. That is so horrible. Galaxy says, I like Blitz being awkward around Striker in the beginning of episode 5. And yes, wholesome Moxie and Millie. I will cry if anything happened to Moxie and Millie, or just their relationship in general. They are so nice and wholesome. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Like, if only we had, like, actual video evidence, you know? Cough, cough, security cameras, cough. Yes, Officer Meekins. With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Remember VHS tapes? Chief Gant delivered it to me this morning, sir. The chief delivered it? What's that? A videotape? What kind of old-fashioned technology is this? Yeah, sir, that's absolutely right, sir. Videotape, sir. Contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape. Like I said earlier, they're just gonna keep doing the suspicious, like... I'm trying to think of the word for it. I can't think of the words, but, like... Gant just keeps being suspicious, just in general. Like, pulling moves, doing things on the sidelines, purposely fucking around with Edgeworth. I do not like it. I was told that I'd been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Like, I have a feeling if he ever asked, like, Gant specifically, Gant would just be like, oh, I'm sorry. That videotape, the one pertaining to the case, sorry, I thought you were talking about another, like, completely different tape. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into? Galaxy says, also as of episode 6, vegan Moxie's still a thing from what we know. I don't know why, I really like this headcanon. Oddly enough, I can see that too for Moxie. Oddly enough. Even though they're demons who, like, slaughter hundreds of humans as a part of their job. Or maybe not a part of their job, but it just so happens to be, like, what happens. Alright, let's take a look at this updated 3DS technology. In stunning black and white. Ooh, look at those 3D sprites. Why isn't there more than one security camera here? I like how this whole tape is just like a big fuck you. Or more like the Blue Badger's presence in the tape is just a big fuck you. Like, oh, you thought you would see the face? That would be too easy. Ah, there's the cloth. Assistant says, I still don't know how hell fully works in that world. Some humans go to hell, some become demons, and other demons are born there. Has me puzzled. Maybe it's something they'll work on. Like, depicting, like, in later episodes. Maybe it's like an age sort of thing, like, old, like, demons, like, towards, like, the beginning of, like, hell and shit were, like, born there, while others, like, more modern demons, or more, like, freshly new demons are, like, humans turned to demons. Galaxy says, just want to say, I saw a lot of people talk about great LGBT representation, but I never saw anyone acknowledge the fact that Moxie's bi. Yeah, everyone talks about, Stolas and Blitz. Yeah, I want to say it's Stolas and Blitz. But not Moxie for some reason. Like, come on. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? Man, that murder caught right on tape. So dark, so brutal. What the hell was that wiggling piece of plywood? Sir, that's the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. You're gonna make Gumshoe cry. It's the Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Of course they would put him right in front of the security tape. Also, I like that the tape is blue, kind of like the Blue Badger. Yes, well anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room, and some sort of activity did take place. Instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir, as you wish, sir. No, don't cave. Mystery Man. His face can't clearly be seen in the video. There's no question that another person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. I mean... They pointed out that, like, if you tried using another person's locker, it would just, like, send, like, a shock through your system. Or maybe, like, burn your hand. Like, maybe he still opened it, like, while being in pain. Maybe he just didn't give any fucks. Also, let's check this. Because I want to see if he's wearing gloves. If he's wearing gloves, maybe if they're insulated enough, maybe you can still force it open. Is he wearing gloves? Show us the gloves. I think he is. I think those were gloves. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a finger-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead. But everything begins with contradictions. That's where we have to start. I have a feeling we're gonna have to use the tape. Let's save. Don't forget to save. Oh, interesting. Galaxy says it depends on the species. Okay. So there's a difference between, like, the demons that are, like, born demons and the demons that used to be humans. Sinners can't reproduce while Hellborn can. Nice. Good to know. Tell me, we're able to get a good look at him. At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife? Sir, if you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe that would be classified as the latter. The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you're the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking with them, you see. Same. Same. Just like looking at your feet, just like, yeah. Eye contact. Very important. But also something I'm not good at. Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I bet my badge on it. There's no question the other person was Detective Goodman. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it. Ah. Becky says, I'm gonna watch on TV. So, be a bit behind, but not by much. I'll keep an eye on chat still. Thanks. Appreciate you. Since the face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. Yeah, Mr. Oh, I don't know if things are classified as seen or unseen. Why is everyone looking at me? I've had to label your stares as disturbing, or... Meekins. Meekins, stop. Eek. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir. You claim the man who brandished a knife at you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you're positive it was him. Oh, also, I am going to adjust my pick a bit. There we go. Just by a smidge. Just by a smidge. Yeah, now you guys can clearly see the progress bar. Assistant says, while searching something that can describe the pain of OD8, I forgot to mention my R6S banner experience. Pretty bad so far. Did a 10 pull and got 9 3 stars and 1 4 star. Oh no. Okay, I will briefly look at it. Oh. What? Honestly, it's hard to describe what I'm looking at. That is a lot of little dudes. All those pinks are little dudes. Oh my gosh. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? Ooh, I just realized something. It's not even at its worst. Oh no. But no, I just realized something. No, sir, I myself tried all the kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. But what if? Hear me out. Like, sure, you need only a fingerprint to open it, but what if? Kinda like with what we saw with Shake's locker. Like how there was like a little like piece of fabric, like, out of it. In the video, we saw briefly like something fall as he opened the locker. If there was something in the way, if there was something like kind of jammed, would it still technically be open even though the door itself was closed? And would anyone just be able to open it then? Because if we look at the tape, sadly we can't fast forward. I guess in the year of 2016, that was not a reality, fast-forwarding through tapes. But like, if we look when he opens the locker, something falls. So I wonder if that was holding it open. Boss is dead, so I can't spawn more of them. I mean, at least that's good. At least there's that. R6S Collab also brought a co-op mode thing. It's been fun playing with friends. Oh, I'm surprised it didn't already have co-op, I just assumed. Also, I didn't miss what you said, Galaxy. Most of the cast of Hazbin Hotel showcase sinners, which is why their appearance is so different, because it's the manifestation of their sins. While Hellborn are a specific species with reoccurring characteristics, like male-born imps having black horns and thick white stripes. Man, every time I hear more about the lore of, like, that universe, like, I get so excited. Like, I'm excited to learn, like, more and more about the universe. Then again, that might be just me, because, like, I love demons and, like, mythology and, like, all that, like, goodness wrapped up together. Wonder what kind of methods he's tried. If a man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to his registered fingerprint, then it must be the prison the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir, and this too. The locker you opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. I wonder where Galaxy learned this. Real interesting info. I know they have, like, some streams where they talk about stuff. I haven't had a chance to, like, look into them. And also, I know they have, like, Instagram pages for, like, each of the characters that also kind of, like, throws random lore stuff at you. Could be either of those places. Lastly, each species lives in a hierarchy. Imps and Hellborn are at the bottom, then greater Hellborn like the Succubus, then in order Sinners, Overlords, Goetai, the Seven Prince of Sins, Turley and Lilith on top. Okay, cool. How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from the people in the know, sir. People in the know, you mean like Gant. The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic trouble, sir. Ah, Meekins. You'll find love someday, Meekins. For the record, the opened locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. I wonder when I present the tape, because I feel like it's the tape, and I feel like we're gonna have to like pinpoint. All right, where in the tape is where the contradiction is. I wonder if it's gonna be him, or if we have to present here. Wonder if the contradiction has to do with the fact that, like, he doesn't need the fingerprint to do so, because it was already opened. Citizen says, people who only watch the YouTube vids, like me, aren't gonna learn this lore, so that sucks. I mean, maybe it's something they'll tackle in, like, future episodes. However, the most important detail that's not shown in this video is the man's face. Sir, if I may say something, sir. Oh, maybe this will open up something new. We'll see. Please do. After all, you're the one being examined. You're the one with the information, sir. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is... unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem? Yes, there's a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there's one thing in particular that seems rather strange. This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. This video contains such a contradiction. Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. I propose that we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. You would want me to point it out. That's my sole job description. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. I've only done pictures before in my whole career. I don't know if we're ready to do this. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. And we can't even rewind or fast forward the tape. Man, acting on the spot. It's set up so you can, oh, okay, we do have the technology. Just take your good luck and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Alright, please enlighten us. Where's the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman? And here comes the tape going over and over. Hope you guys like this music. Okay, pause. If this isn't it, I'm gonna be so upset. The thing that's strange about this video has gotta be this. Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. Why do I feel like you're just playing with me? What could it mean? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise. The point? What you are looking for is the one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man might not be Detective Goodman. Oh no. That was, for some reason, the wrong thing. Oh yeah. I almost walked right into the defense's trap. I'll place him under arrest, sir. Rats. I need to slow down and tackle these things one piece at a time. Okay, maybe we're getting too far ahead of ourselves. Okay, let's play the video again. Let's try this again. Every time you point your finger, someone gets hurt. Sorry, I really need to take care of my nails. Says the one pointing his finger at us. Oh, assistant says, I got some more E2s. You find if I post it on Discord? Of course! Please do. And I'll play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction to speak of. Okay, so it's not the glove. Unless maybe I paused it at, like, the wrong time? Do I pause it when we vaguely see him, like, walking forward? Hold on, back. Oh, I like how we can do this frame by frame. Why do I have the urge to, like, present right here? But let's go more forward. Just, like, step by step. I love how the music keeps going. Yeah, even when the video's paused. Wait. There's the knife. Is it maybe the knife? Because, like, the knife we saw was broken. Let's check the court record. Like this knife. Blue Badger sees your sins. Blue Badger knows all. Might have to be the knife. Like, if it's not the knife, the only thing I can think about is when the locker was open. Because here's the thing. I still think we're on the right track about, like, the glove, like, making it so we can easily open this locker without having to use the fingerprint. But if we turn it around... Wait for it. Okay. How is he able to open both lockers? Because clearly how is that suddenly, like, out of, like, hanging out of the locker door and everything if someone didn't open it? And the only person who could have opened it is Goodman as he walked past. So how is he able to open both lockers unless the Goodman one isn't his, and this is his actual locker? So let's try presenting this. Hopefully this is it. The thing that's strange about this video has gotta be this. Oh no. Oh no, maybe it was the knife. God damn it. Play video again? Okay, we're gonna try the knife. Because I see several problems in the video, it's just like which one specifically is the one that we need. I need a good shot of the knife. But also, does that really pinpoint that he's not Goodman? Is it the blood? It could be the blood. The thing that's strange about this video would have to be, this. Hold on a second, I need to use my eye drops. I guess it's the blood. Well, I don't get it. Cause I'm playing to, like, Phoenix's wheelhouse. Like, that's the only other thing. I'm glad I didn't present the knife. Would you mind if I borrowed your eye medication? No, Phoenix, you can't use other people's prescriptions. That's illegal. Before your eyes get too teary, perhaps you could think this through again. Now, what do I do? Oh, was that wrong still? How's that wrong still? There was, like... there was different, dialogue and everything. How's that wrong? Maybe it is the knife. Okay, let's try the knife. Nope, pause, rewind. We just need a good... Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not, but I have to. No, it's not. Wait a minute. No, pause. Do you understand now why I have PTSD of this music? This is the last time you're gonna hear it. Maybe not, but I realized something. Okay, so we were on the right track when we presented the glove. However, like, even though it came to the same answer, same conclusion, I see now. I see what we need to present. All these lockers are closed. However, this one, which looks closed, has the open light on. If this is not it... Okay, good. I say as this sounds like the exact same thing he's been saying. The thing that's strange about this video has gotta be this. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? What other person? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab a handle, the sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. It was right in front of our face the whole time. This is gonna haunt my dreams. I swear. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind a little earlier. Here, notice the light. What's this? It's already lit. Yep. Precisely my point, Your Honor. It's still not as bad as the repeating scene in Apollo Justice. Man, I'm still sad we can't play Apollo Justice. At least not without an emulator. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Ah! Order. What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker's locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, the sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have broken down. If it broke down, I don't think the light would be on. I'm not an expert on this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well. Just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? We do. Why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. Galaxy says, I know in France, Apollo Justice is the one who makes the most sell in the original DS release. Ooh, really? I had no idea. I've said this before. I've said this a million times. Apollo Justice is such a great game. So fantastic. 10 out of 10. Same with Trials and Tribulations, which we will get to in this playthrough eventually. That's the name of the third game. But also I'm surprised because, like, they do, like, so many different things in Apollo Justice compared to, like, the trilogy so far. Trials and Tribulations is so good. Just all of the cases in that, like, there's no bad case. There's no, like, bad, like, egg or anything in Trials and Tribulations. And 2 is Justice for All, yes. Apollo Justice Case 1 is best case in the whole series. Oh, best case 1. Yeah, in, like, the case 1 in Apollo Justice, like, it's not just, like, a lame kind of, like, throwaway, just, like, oh, this is just so you can practice the game. No, like, it's very great. Great Ace Attorney is also banging. Eventually. Eventually. I've been thinking about Great Ace Attorney ever since it came out. I want to play it so bad. And I was listening to this podcast. Speaking of McElroy content, I am very into Wonderful, which is a podcast Griffin does with his wife, which they just talk about things they like. And in a recent episode, they talked about Ace Attorney, and they also talked about like how much improvement the Grace Ace Attorney is compared to like the other games. And I can't wait for it. Galaxy says, I think Apollo Justice has the best overall cases for the 4 games I played. Man, they really peaked. So far, I haven't played Great Ace Attorney, but so far, they really peaked with Apollo Justice. Dual Destinies faltered a bit. There were a lot of cases in Dual Destinies where I'm just sitting there just like, alright, when do we move on? When do we get past this? Assistant says, I'd say it's Spirit of Justice or Trials and Tribulations. So I started Spirit of Justice. So far, really love the first case. Really love all the updates they did with like the cutscenes and like the animations and everything. I started the second case in Spirit of Justice and not into it as much. Not into it as much. Like, can we please go back to Phoenix? As much as I love Apollo. Like, not to spoil too much, but like first case really gets you like pumped and excited to see him like in this new environment, and then it cuts right back to like Apollo and like the other people as like some kind of like B plot, and I'm just like, but what about what about what we were doing over there? Please. I mean, maybe as we continue on with case 2, maybe I'll like it more. I love Spirit of Justice case 2, one of my personal faves. Yeah, worst one is probably case 4 for me. Oh, that sucks. But my favorite character is probably our favorite butterfly from AA3, says Galaxy. Ooh. I think I know who you mean. We will see her in a bit. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Ooh. Becky says, Spirit of Justice last case. The build-up wasn't the best, but the twist, that shit still haunts me. Ooh. I can't wait to see. Maybe something like jam the system sensor with a glove, perhaps? Something jammed in the sensor. Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Rewind the tapes! Wish we could talk more about it, but spoilers. Yeah, man. Again, it would be cool. It'd be cool if they just had all the games. Just like all together, including the Apollo Justice ones. Spirit of Justice is 6th game, right? It is. Yes, because it goes the trilogy. This game, Justice for All, Trials and Tribulations, and then it goes Apollo Justice, Dual Destinies, and Spirit of Justice. Yeah, there is a spoiler server in Discord. So y'all can talk to your heart's content over there. But, like, it sucks that I'm still, like, partially in the dark, just, like... Sorry, I got distracted by words. Yeah, speaking of, the 3DS and Wii U eShop is closing, like, come January, so, like, without, if anyone wants to play, like, those games, those, like, later, like, Apollo Justice, games, y'all should get on it. Y'all should, like, buy a copy, if you have the means, as soon as you can, before they shut down the eShop, because that's what I did. Just thinking, like, oh, I should probably wait to buy Spirit of Justice. Like, maybe I should. Like, I'm gonna be buying Great Ace Attorney. I should, like, take a break from buying games. And then I heard that news, and I'm like, shit. I gotta get on that. Even more reason why I'm like, damn, why can't we just have every Ace Attorney game on the Switch? Or just, like, in a port? Oh, thank you for subscribing. Thank you, Hoagie. Hoagie Wan Cannoli. My favorite Star Wars character. I still need to play the DLC cases and SOJ. I don't think I've played any DLC cases, other than, I guess, this one counts. I guess. Why game have physical release in Japan? Yeah, like, why can't we have a physical release of it? Also, same with, the, like, Miles Edgeworth Investigations games, like, they had a physical English release of the first game, but not the second game, and it's like, come on. What gives? Why can't we have the second game? Like, I know, like, sadly those games didn't do well, but still, Miles Edgeworth is, like, the most popular Ace Attorney character, I have to say. Like, for that alone, like, I'm more surprised they didn't, like, bring it over here. Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. Yes, that's a good assumption. Gravity, you know? I often fall out and roll great distances when I... What the fuck? Meekins, how do you get out of your car? Just like... open car door. Unbuckle self. Just like flop. That's how I leave the car. Can't be so sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. Ooh, hi. Wait, which case is this? This is Rise from the Ashes. This is the 5th case in, the first game. In the Phoenix Wright game. I think we're on, if I remember clearly, we're on day 3. Ooh, last day, actually. Yeah, this has been interesting so far. Like, I feel like we've mostly, like, connected the dots, but there's still a lot of gray areas. Galaxy says, may I just say the game is $30 on the 3DS eShop, and the trilogy on Switch is the same price. Yeah, like, it'd be cool if they came out with, like, a trilogy game that's not, like, you know, another version of, like, this trilogy, but, like, of the second trilogy, of, like, the Apollo Justice side of things. I thought that the cactus was the killer, but I was wrong. Those cacti. I don't know, those cacti sitting in the, what's it called? The guard room. Very suspicious. The sensors triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted. I'm so glad they didn't play the music again. Because as much as I love it, and as much as a bop as it is, hearing it over and over again, like, no thank you. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir, just like my tie. Blue Badger theme intensified. 2 out of 3 times I get stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. How do you exit things? Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. Who is watching out for this man? But the object would have to be extremely thin if it... I mean, a glove could be. And a glove, I would argue, can be an insulator. Law and Order theme. Imagine the Law and Order theme, but what, like... with the kind of tones of the Blue Badger theme. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator, but what if the glove, I don't know, can insulate things, because that's what gloves do. What about, here's an idea, a sheet of paper. Galaxy says, you understand that the Blue Badger's hands are the ruler of everything. Blue Badger knows all. All hail the Blue Badger. Do we actually have the glove? I think we have the glove here. Extremely thin rubber glove. Rubber's an insulator. Also extremely thin. It could fit in between cracks. But sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Very well, would the defense please present the relevant evidence? I found this near the locker. Thin rubber glove. Oh, from the way you read it, I guess you don't know the song. No, sorry friend. But we can't be sure it was in the victim's locker. It has a tagged SSL9 incident. I mean, if you read the tag, video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins? Sir? It would appear so, sir. Order. So are we to believe then that the victim whom the witness stabbed in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that the possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. Ooh. Officer Meekins, please testify about this, but like he didn't see anything. Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Yeah, he didn't see shit. Oh, you mean that? Sir, of course, sir. You know what else is an insulator? Paper. But like... We saw the glove fall. Unless like, the glove is paper. Is made out of paper. Yes, my favorite. Paper gloves. Very well, begin your testimony. Mystery Man 2. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. If he used paper, he could have thrown it away and it wouldn't have been suspicious. Yeah. Like... apparently, like... what was I gonna say? Like, apparently in this universe, they're like really quick on like throwing away the trash. And after that, like, there's not even gonna be a trail to like go and find it again. And who's gonna think about paper? To enter the evidence room. Okay, but we already figured out that it was stolen. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Okay, but what about... What about the fact that he lost his card? Wow, these killers suck at killing. They don't even hide their evidence. I wonder if they're just like cocky. Just like, oh yes, I can get away with anything. Even if I blatantly like leave behind shit. I have the ID card right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases. Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just saying that makes my hands stand on end. Hair, I mean. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. Maybe that's why his hair is all spiky. He doesn't do it up in the morning like that. He's just like so full of anxiety, it's always like at like attention. Galaxy says, you didn't see the meme that goes, do you like how I talk? Do you like how I walk? Oh no, do you like how I walk? Do you like how I talk? Do you like how my face disintegrates to chalk? No, I haven't. That thing was everywhere at one point. It killed me seeing people asking where that came from, because they wanted to see the full song. Me telling them, and them ending even more confused than before. No, I've not heard of that. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination. Okay, I'm gonna save it. And I'm gonna try something. This has failed in the past, but I think I'm confident. Ooh, I have a version of with Francisca. I will totally send it on the meme stream. Yes, please. Also, while I know we should probably present the fact like, oh hey look, he lost it, I don't see like a very clear moment to use it. Oh, welcome Loco. Welcome to the stream. How have you been? How's your weekend? But no. Even though at first I was like, oh yeah, we should definitely like just present the thing without looking at any of the testimony. I think we might have to press to get what we need. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this is to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir, solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir. Didn't he just use his right hand? No, he's a lefty. Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows what he might say until the very last second. You've been doing chores and some side quests. Nice. I also have to do chores. That's probably what I'm gonna do after the stream is over. Oh, you gotta go. Need to sleep. Okay, it is late for you. Hope you have a good sleeps. Good dreams. See you guys. Is that card hanging from your neck, one of these ID cards? Yes, sir. This card next to my cuff, sir. Keep it or I won't ever forget it. But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open? Well, have fun with Ace Attorney. Thank you. Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card chokes me. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness is referring to. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman. Oh, what's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. Oh, shit. Ooh. So it is, Your Honor. Yes, thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. Not that prosecutor again. Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being prosecutor, he could hide the evidence. Is that man in blue a murderer? Hey, I'm in blue. You got the wrong color, kid. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of in regarding to my actions or their consequences. For now, let's continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. Must be so difficult for him. Always on the negative side of things. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. That's not an ID. Yes, sir, he didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked. Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. What do you think? I'm confused. The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, just show them what we got. Okay. Galaxy says, okay, minor spoiler from my DR fan game. I've learned that from writing Murder Plot that ambidextrous killers are OP. Like the possibilities it opens. Yes. Like, it's so simple, but like, even just in like other genres, like for some reason I love it when that pops up. Like, me and my roommates often joke about, like, the guy in Prince of Tennis, where, like, his whole, like, plot twist superpower thing is just the fact that he's left-handed. And the fact that he's been, like, playing with this Wright the whole time. Like, we make jokes about it and how, like, stupid and simple it is, but, like, when you're watching it and it's, like, in the moment, like, it's actually great to see. Okay, at the time of the crime, the detective had used his ID card, but also at the time of the crime, he had lost his ID card. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report. It's only half completed. It shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess, you believe this something is to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure. There's a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather a man who stole his ID card. Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Aw, thanks. You shouldn't have. I try my best. Bravo. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far? Yes? What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is... well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around as he rocks his finger. This isn't going to end well. Oh no, I don't like those sounds. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. Wait a minute. Hold on, hold the phone. Remember when... I forgot who was talking to Gant, but remember when Edgeworth was like, hey, I asked for the tape of the scene of the murder, and Gant was like, shit, it was erased, sorry. And then remember Edgeworth's surprise when we had this tape? That was supposed to be the view of, like, the murder, and Edgeworth was like, oh, he told me it was erased, how does this exist? I wonder if Gant knew that this was a fake crime. Knew that this was not the initial, like, scene of the murder. So technically, Gant was correct when he was like, sorry, the tape of the exact scene of the murder is erased. Like, it was. Like the two videos that were spoken of, even though we thought we were talking about the same thing, are not the same thing. And it actually is erased. Because now we're leading up to, like, oh shit, the murder didn't take place at, like, the 5:15 mark. It actually took place, like, earlier, perhaps. Perhaps, like, earlier during one of those other timestamps. But do we have proof? No, because it got erased. Sadly. Galaxy says, by the way, I'm glad you like my tarot card drawing, even if I think I made a bad job. Could have done much better. No, like, they looked really nice. I like how you depicted, like, all the characters, like, in the different, like, arcanas and stuff. And also, like, it's good just to get, like, concepts down on paper. And then, like, later on, you can, like, spruce them up and make them look, like, more spiffy, if you choose to. The murderer being Miss Lana Skye the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness? She wasn't trustworthy. What are you talking about, Edgeworth? Even you didn't like Angel Star, I mean. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. admit that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap, from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Object? Of course I made the buff guy naked on the card, of course I did. I feel like that's a given. You can't just, like, conceal a beefcake like that. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. Very sneaky, Edgeworth. Very sneaky. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Why are we watching the entire video again? Again, at least they're not repeating the music. However, it cannot be said that this is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. Yeah, like, you still can't ignore all that blood. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Ooh, let's go, day 4. Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Come forth, Chuck Norris. The man himself. Mr. Wright, do you mean... Your Honor? The defense would like to request a specific witness. Whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify. What is his or her name? Ooh, nice, look at us, presenting peoples. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. I gotta keep some things up my sleeve. Ah, Stretch Boy, thank you, Blanco. Thank you. Let us stretch. Galaxy says, to be fair, it was to make a parallel with the Justice Arcana. If you remember, it was that drawing I sent you in PM and wanted the 2 to echo. That you describe as, and I quote, ooh, very spicy. Yes. Yes. Stretch with me, everyone. Let's get physical. Big stretches, big stretches. Oof. Drink up after stretch. Oh man, 2 at once. I'm surprised. Hydrate or dihydrate didn't come into effect sooner. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say, yeah. That only makes sense. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fair assessment. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Sounds like recess time. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. And speaking of recess, we should also go to recess. Galaxy says, now that I think about it, the police sergeant having the Hotspur Justice Arcana is gold. It is. It only makes sense. Hopo Senpai says, when Mondays are Panera days because you worked your butt off on the weekends. Treat yourself. Man, I'm jealous. So jealous. Panera is so good. But their whole thing is bread. And I can't have the bread. I hope you enjoy your Panera. We're gonna take a small break. We'll be right back. We're gonna have a short little break in game, and then onto trial. Until then, you guys take it easy. Glad I didn't give the Justice Arcana to the policeman. That would be a little too on the nose. A little too obvious. But no. Y'all get snacks. Y'all like just chill. Just chill. And we'll be back. Hello, we are back. I just went out and checked the mail while we were on break, and my new adapter came in. So I'm excited to get that situated when we're done streaming. Hobo Senpai says, police would be death, really. That's also a little too on the nose. I mean, that's if you go, like, literal. Because, like, the Death Arcana is not, like, specifically about death. If anything, I guess it would be more like the Tower, maybe? Just the whole, like, shaking things up, ultra, like, destruction thing. Yeah, death is just change, or, like, the movement between, like, major phases in life. Or if we were to go outside of, the major arcana and go into the minors, I think the police could better be represented by, like, I want to say, like, the Ten of Swords, which is all about just, like, despair and, like, ruin and, like, just, like, the worst of, like, the worst situation, that sort of thing. And yeah, I'm excited for my adapter because I got my new computer all, like, up and running, but for some reason, like, it can't connect to the Wi-Fi, which is very important, especially when it comes to streaming. So hopefully with my new adapter, like, everything will be a-okay. Well, like I said, my policeman is the Emperor. Yeah, the Emperor is also a very good card for like, a police-centric character. Because, you know, authority, leadership, that sort of thing. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Nope! We're gonna keep riding this train. What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Just kind of shooting names into the breeze. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. Yeah, but just let us in the know. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Never. Welcome, Gumshoe. I mean, we were trying to, like, get more information, but, like, come on, sit down. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Bye, Gumshoe. Just, like, sadly sinks off into the distance. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? Slowly trudges back. You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective runner all around while on duty. To top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, Detective. You better be, pal. Hey, 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 hey! I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh. So it's her. That's the reason why he's here. Oh ho 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 ho. You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could it bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? Ooh. Yeah, because we've heard all about this case, but we literally, like, have no idea what it is. I'll need them by name. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident. But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. Can we look at them now? No, we can't. Can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness on that case. Miss Sky was a witness. Okay, now we have it. Files for the Joe Dart killing solved 2 years ago. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Let's take a look-see. Incident number SL9. Close. Perpetrator Joe Dark. Again, what a very generic, edgy serial killer name. I could see them using that in like one of those like generic like airport like true crime books. Well, not true crime, but you know what I mean. Crime, serial murder, sentence, death. Victims: Edward Jones, Edith Kirby, Jeb Bates, Jason Knight, what a name, Rachel Moss, Neil Marshall. Why does Marshall sound so familiar? Gee, I wonder. Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Witnesses: oh, Lana and Emma Sky. Shit. Investigation Task Force. Executive investigators Damon Gant, Alana Sky. Head investigator Bruce Goodman. Investigators Jake Marshall, Angel Star. Kirby Poyo. No, how dare you murder Kirby? How dare. Oh, what? Now I've brought you stuff. You're just gonna ignore me? Never. Why is your name on here? What? My name's in there. I don't know. Unless... No, it couldn't be. This SL9 incident, is that... What? That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as... the Joe Dark killings. That Joe Dark. That's over with. Oh no. Emma ran away. This is fraud. Kirby's a professional god killer. Yeah, like... if Kirby couldn't get Thanos away... like, how did Kirby get stabbed? You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Bye! Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. No, everyone's leaving me. Oh no. Jake Marshall. Angel Star. Damon Gant. Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just coincidence. Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. Better take a good look at this file. Good, long, hearty look. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Oh no, we're all by ourselves. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross the intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Edgeworth has no fucks about his aesthetic. Howling wind. I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? 'Cause he didn't see shit. The desperado soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please, share with us your testimony on the day of the crime. In plain old English. Oh no, suddenly he's reciting Shakespeare. Day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. Said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if we're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. I like how he just openly admits that he's bad at his job. Or just like blatantly like not doing his job. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. Can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. But also they're not 100% foolproof, given that you can just like steal an ID and just like use it against the door. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint activated locks on the evidence loggers? Fingerprint activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. Also, those are the things you're like sworn to protect. How do you not know about them? He's not that good with machines or with following orders. Hey, hi Ravioli! Welcome! I'm doing good, how are you? Also, Galaxy says, even if I don't see him that way, mysterious question mark ultimate character has the Judgment Arcana, which I don't feel like it would be the first choice for the mysterious character. I mean, I guess kind of like the whole concept of Judgment is like kind of like, I don't know. I don't know necessarily mysterious, but I guess ambiguous is kind of how I would put it. So I can see how like Judgment could fit that sort of character trope. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Ah, good, thanks for asking. Nice fast. Thank you. Thank you. Very, very in character. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Alright, day of crime. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? Just made sure nothing moved into the security camera monitor. The room's so still. Better call Spacey. Coming to a TV station / like Netflix streaming service near you. Even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker. Interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos and nothing aren't that useful. When time would come, I erased the tape. Ergo, he probably just erased all evidence of him doing crimes. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy's a flair for the traumatic, but it isn't gonna do him very good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room, unless you are murdering. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? You heard a word I said, partner? Told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. No desperados I know join the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner, can't say I do. Haven't been in that crypt for weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? Yeah, really. Honestly. You used to be a detective, so you used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course, back in the day, my locker was a goldmine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism. Sorry, partner. Ain't good with machines. Couldn't even tell you how a bike works. That's quite incredible. Is sensors in the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Is he only eating spaghetti because of the whole, like, spaghetti western trope kind of thing? Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that parlor's Spangoli Seppa pasta. You mean to tell us you abandon your police duties just to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. Hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, "Did you not want a raise this year?" Out of ammo, Officer Marshall. That's right, partner. Or as you call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me on this crime, then you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. The steel horse is waiting to carry me back west to the sunset. So you don't know how to ride a bike, but you know how to ride a motorcycle. Like Eminem once said, Mom Spaghetti. Great, now I'm gonna have that video where they like edited that song, but with only the Mom Spaghetti lyric like inserted in. I'm gonna have that stuck in my head, thanks. I didn't think cowboys like tacos. It's such a big stereotype. Just like the whole, like, oh, look at this cowboy, they must only eat Mexican food. Galaxy said, also someone pointed it to me how it's funny the youngest and most childlike character is the World Arcana, but it fits her so much. Like, most people would pick, like, the Fool. But it is interesting how it's actually, like, the reverse for you. The witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everybody knows that. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I best keep my cool. Let's save. And I guess now is a better time than any to present... Oh, before I use it though, I better up the ante. Okay, so maybe we don't present the fingerprints. Hold on, do we have a specific thing that's like, oh, these are his fingerprints? Wait, his name is Marshall? Yes. The guy working in the police station, the patrolman, his name is Marshall. Literally. Okay, I know they were like, oh, we shouldn't use our trump card, but I think we might have to. Like Eminem, the spaghetti's making sense now. He's actually secretly Eminem. He's not from Texas, he's just a boy from Detroit. Puts another spin on our whole, like, cosplay headcanon. Before I use it, though, I better up the ante, implying, hey, you shouldn't use the fingerprints. If we're not gonna use the fingerprints, maybe at this right here, when he's like, oh, I'm just an innocent man. Maybe we should present this? Or maybe that might be us jumping to conclusions. When he said he was from Texas, it reminds me of Sandy Cheeks, the astronaut in the ocean. Okay, maybe I'm thinking too much into this. I was overthinking it a bit too much. Like, it was right there. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet, you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of the crypt. I pay my respects. That is, I make my rounds about once a month. That is... You're supposed to be there 3 times a day. What the hell? It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, the fingerprints were covered in blood. How do you explain that? Unless maybe he's gonna spin it like, oh shit, that was just my spaghetti. Galaxy says, well, ignoring travel, her being born in Japan and travel to start a new life in South America, pretty much all the traits of the card fit her. Oh, okay. See, I forget that the world card also has, like, a lot to do with, like, traveling and, like, that sort of thing in general. Her blood-stained fingerprints are at the scene of the crime. The blood was wiped away, however, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Don't you know spaghetti sauce also reacts to luminol testing fluid? Well, Officer Marshall? Seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. Are you including Edgeworth in on this? I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall. About the blood-stained fingerprints. Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints. Found at the scene of the crime. The good, the bad, and the guilty. Yeah, that pretty much sums this guy up. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place. Oh, yeah. Totally. His hand just happened to touch and, like, be right on the same blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. Then like, why did we not? Like, didn't we examine? I mean, I guess we didn't examine, like, the bloodied part of the handprint. But still, the way it lined up, that's too much of a coincidence. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it. Likely story. The witness's explanation appears valid. Although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. I don't believe him. This guy's hiding something. I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. That's because you... How did you put it? Pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. Okay, so he openly admits it. What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Updated. Galaxy says she lives in Sao Paulo, if you're curious. Brazil. Ooh, neat. So then, what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine. It's no mystery. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. Chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward with me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? Unrelated. They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast while the other's a type of murder. He's right. Though seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Nice English lesson, but let's move on. How do you know that? Yeah, how did you know that he was wearing gloves? Maybe alone, or that I still do my job. Keep up on the reports. There's a blood stain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on the handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture. Seal of blood. In the desert. It's just food for the buzzards. Does that give you an idea, Phoenix? There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise, but it is. It totally is. Because, like, how did the fabric, or, like, whatever was poking out the locker, like, how did that happen? If you yourself didn't open your own locker. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony. But it was. Something tells me I should probably press, but I'm going to present. Shit. I should have pressed. I'm not on the wrong track, I just did the wrong thing. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Nuh-uh. Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. Also, the flag keeps getting in the way. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape, like someone who watches on the daily. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. Show evidence. It's the cloth. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Alright. Round 2 with the video. Oh, wait, no. Wrong part, wrong part. We gotta wait until they fight. Okay, here we go. I wanna get the cursor at the perfect spot. I think here. Bringing our attention back to this security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. Yeah, you done dug your own grave. Days are short in Texas, so are our tempers. Here to sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less. Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. How many words is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 words exactly. Bravo. Way to go. Round of applause for Phoenix. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video, the one that you clearly admitted is your own. A locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Don't mind me. Don't mind me, just slamming down the band hammer. The white cloth is gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. It's a ghost. A ghost cloth. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned your way. Yes, bonk. Bonks in the chat. Bonks in the chat for the spam. It seems that's the only hold your horses. Sorry, partner. But you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it, but fingerprints. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. But, fingerprints. Ravioli says Judge Judy needs Phoenix to work with her. I feel like Judge Judy would lose her cool around Phoenix. Just with, like, how unsure he is a lot of the times. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? You literally just dug your own grave, sir. This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. Sir, technology exists, sir. I hate to rain in your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? Call your bluff. You say open that locker, now prove it. Fingerprints? Fingerprints? Or do we present this? I don't think we present that. Oh, no, we have to present The evidence locker, because it specifically says only the assigned detective's prints can unlock it. Fingerprint sensor. Oh, okay. Alexei says, I never heard rain on your parade in my life. Really? That's like... That's an often used expression. I mean, I guess people don't say it as often, like, anymore. We talked about this earlier today. Unlockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. Reminder, I'm from Spacey, that's fair. I mean, I forget what musical it is, but there is a musical where, like, the most, like, popular song from it, I think is called, like, Don't Rain on My Parade or something. I haven't seen it, I just know that the song exists. So maybe that's also why I'm like, oh yeah, everyone knows it. And then again, I'm sure, like, in, like, other cultures and stuff, there's, like, common phrases that, like, even I don't know about. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Ravioli says, you could say you got a snake in your boot, partner. Oh, no, any more cowboy one-liners. Galaxy says, isn't it from Glee? So, all of Glee, all that they do on Glee is just, like, cover songs. So they did do it on Glee, but it's not from Glee. Again, I forget, like, what the original musical's from. Or called, I mean, that it's from. What do you have to say in 8 words or less? What are you chewing on? Beef jerky? Where'd you get that? Oh, jeez. Did someone turn on the fan or something? Witness, explain yourself. Oh, he's chewing leather. Just literally leather. This is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay? Please answer the question. I don't think that's how you use that. What is he now, a bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. Oh, look it up. Apparently it's from a movie called Funny Girl. Okay, okay, thank you. Yeah, I haven't seen it, I just know of it. I probably should, though. From 1968. Yeah, it's like one of those where everyone, like, considers it a classic, but honestly, like, I don't know anyone who's seen it. I believe we can figure the rest out from here. We can. We can. Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet, Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. I do. That's right. The only possible conclusion. Don't mind me just saving just in case. Let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Shit. Here? Are we implying that, like, Officer Marshall came in and then We're just gonna go here. Hiding on the side of the lockers? But there's no side to hide. Unless he was already on the floor here dead. I'm just gonna go here. Like he had come in, was minding his business, and then Marshall came in as the killer and killed him. No, that's not true. Well, that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Oh wait, no, I got things spun around. Never mind. Yeah, because we're proving that, like, Marshall was in disguise as Detective Goodman. I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, we knew this. We knew this. This is what we've been talking about the whole stream. I don't know why that confused me. Galaxy says, synopsis. The musical is set in and around New York City just prior to and following World War I. Fanny Bryce, awaiting the return of her husband, Nikki Arnstein, from prison, reflects on their life together and their stories told in a flashback. Yeah, I'm with you, Galaxy. On paper, that doesn't sound like too interesting. But I guess if the music's good, that's all that matters. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he... Not if he was in disguise. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his cards, sir. And how did Detective Goodman respond? He's only pulled a knife on me. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Also, like, I'd imagine if anyone, like just anyone, even if they knew him, if they saw Marshall, like outside, like not in his cowboy getup, I'd imagine like no one would recognize him. Again, even if they knew him. Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If we showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. You must have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. Do we? Can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. Can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any... I don't know if we do. Yeah, I don't think we have any, like, sort of clothes or anything. That Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim. Well... Who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Soul Calibur flashbacks, oh no. It seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? Edgeworth, please help. Please. Please be a pal. Please. Thank you. It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you have run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Not Maya. She's in a waterfall somewhere. Try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? Is the white fabric the coat? The coat that he stuffed in there? Help us, boyfriend. Boyfriend, help. Please. There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance he might be discovered later, as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the scene of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened up his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out— okay, now it's being increasingly obvious, thank you. I opened it in order to put the cloth inside. Gee, I wonder what cloth it is. The white cloth, that's the same as the coat. Go back to the basics, Snake. I mean, Phoenix. Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so the video is my only shot. Yeah, imagine if you walked out still wearing, like, the disguise, and, like, someone just happened to be, like, in the room. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness has opened his locker. Luckily we don't have to— wait. Luckily we don't have to go far. Well, what do you have to say to that? Alright, partner. You really want to know the reason I had to open my locker? Why? So I could stuff you in there. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm sure the world would be a better place with you sent off to the boneyard. Unfortunately, unsolved cases can't be stored in the evidence room. Now I'm an unsolved case? Something went wrong in the evidence room. Okay, so it wasn't the coat. That would be too big. Too big to fit. It would be the glove. The unexpected event. Better have another crack at this. Okay. That's the only, like, white thing. It's the only white thing we know of. Watch, this is still wrong. Oh, it's still wrong. Damn. Is it maybe this? But that doesn't make sense. That has nothing to do with, like, white cloths or anything. You really shouldn't be able to have that knife on him in court. No. There's a lot of things about Jake Marshall's character where I'm like, that shouldn't be allowed. Like, what other white cloths should it be? Or would it be? Did he, like, chloroform Officer Meekins or something? We only have so many chances. Only so many more chances. Said something went wrong. I mean, it has to do with Meekins, obviously. I swear to God. Is it the code and we just had to pinpoint this specifically? Oh my god. So we were right, it was just the wrong point in the video. I want a mod where everyone's a badger. Well, a badger, not a badger. Yes, everyone is their own blue badger. For some reason you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that, so you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. Ooh. Imagine Judge Badger. Yes. Also, imagine Gumshoe as a badger. I think it'd be cute. Hey Noah! Welcome to the stream. I think we might be coming up to the end. I mean, he's starting to admit it, I hope, I assume. Francisca Badger, yes! That's oddly also fitting. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. Hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago. If you're only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. Alright. Seems the time has come. Please be honest. Marshall's confession. I always arrive near the end, Rip. I know. One of these days. One of these days. Old Badger. It fits. It fits. Had to do it that day. Couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. Planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. He managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood, I was about to say that, were found on the floor in the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Unless... unless, Meekins just happens to have just, like, really large veins. Is that literally the explanation? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Alright, let's press to our heart's content after we save. When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since the case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That incident's not over. And what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why I... ... Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card. I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filing out that lost item report. Returned his ID card. Left it on the floor of the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by... That's a stupid place to put it. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But you could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. Do we have proof of this? Of him being in the room? No. Unless... Hear me out. Obviously, there were still, like, traces of blood on the floor, so obviously a murder still did happen there. So I wonder... Because we were talking earlier about how it sounded like, Jake Marshall and David Gant, like, were working together. What if they were? What if they still were? What if all these sevens? Cause like, I have a theory. For some reason, it makes sense in my head. It might not make sense logically, but like, it makes sense for like such a simple number. As cute as it would be to be the Blue Badger's ID number. Like, for some reason I feel like someone of like high authority would have like a more simple number compared to like the other numbers. Like, it would make even more sense if it was just a bunch of ones, but like sevens can work. Like, why do I have a feeling that that would be Gant's? Like, what if Gant, like, went into the room? Like, he could have gone into the room with Bruce, because all you need is just, like, one swipe of, like, one person's ID. Like, they could have gone in, like, together. And what if he, like, murdered Bruce, like, right then and there? Like, at the 420 mark. And somehow, like, beforehand, like, managed to get him to, like, open the locker. Or even, like, do they even have to be alive to, like, open it up? He could have, like, killed him and then, like, puppeteered his hand to open it. And then, like, while working with Jake, like, made it so it, like, was finagled so that Jake could open it at a later time. Because, like, how else would the glove have been stuck? It wasn't coincidence, it wasn't an accident. I might have gotten this. I might have solved this before this is over. Don't tell me otherwise. I pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off. Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. Didn't think anyone would actually come in during the short time. Officer Meekins certainly is one in a million type of person. mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his race this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. Sorry I had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So you knocked Officer Meekins out, and... So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. Didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. All had gone as planned, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room and I came out, the jig would have been up. Opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is on that day, there wasn't any murder. But the blood found at the scene clearly indicates a crime took place, but he specifically said at 5:15. What are you, blind? The victim shown on the tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no I didn't. Oh? Oh, why not? Because it was already gone. Because Gant probably took it ahead of time. Or Goodman himself. When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Because Gant told him to. Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer. This is no small offense. Here we go, the sad feelsy music. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. You can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one's mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. Can't just forget the SL9 incident, you know why? Why? That case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. But there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? I wonder. It's not like any loved ones were involved or anything. Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. Better take another look at the files. Oh, we know. Now's the time. Alright. Come at me, feelsy music. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. Oh no, not the cactus juice! I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned here. But not Jake Marshall. I mean, later it does, but you know. And a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall. Yeah, I'm sure you heard the name. 2 years ago. Oh, so small. He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. Oh, of course he's a prosecutor. What? A prosecutor? You must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Wait, that award wasn't broken, was it? I only saw a flash, but I'm pretty sure it was still solidly together. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right, he was killed. And the case fell into your hands. What's his relation to you? He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the deputy chief of police. Oh, he must have been the other cowboy in the picture. Oh. A group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. Man, that guy looks... I don't know why, he gives me like vampire vibes. Maybe it's the slicked back hair. It was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least according to the public records. Oh. My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions. Definitely an evil guy, yeah, that screams evil. There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. Gasping. The things that happened by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on in the police department. Chance? It's gotta be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, they were, just not at 5:15. That means the murder in the prosecutor's office's parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. But wait, a verdict hasn't been reached in yesterday's trial. Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But... There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. Seems to me the boys got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries of the police department have been resolved, no doubt. Now, sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimonies of one Miss Angel Starr is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. How about no? Ah. Hey, I guess that's a single word. I rest my case. Seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt. I have several doubts, excuse you. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time. disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... Okay, good. Okay, good. Thank you, Emma. Welcome back, Emma. Welcome to the stage. Your Honor, wait. Emma. The defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right. What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? I guess? In a sense? Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Please, hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please. Just looks and gives him puppy dog eyes. Please, Edgeworth. I don't want to leave any loose ends. Yes. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. Oh, very generous. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentions it. The names on both Sky and sister of both Sky's sisters were on that file. And that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. I left only one thing. The other handprint. And the traces of blood found in the Detective Gumshoe's locker. Yeah, because, like, he wasn't wearing gloves. So someone else must have been there wearing the gloves. I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. So, did you find something? No. I mean, think about it. Think about it. Like, it was the same hand, too. Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator, after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad, I'm just a high school student. Thanks for the nothing, Emma. And I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. We can't find something wrong with them. Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me. Oh no, oh no, oh no. With regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? I mean... Can we look at it? No, it's only gonna show it when it's all red and stuff. I was just gonna say, I think if you look at it, like just the plain picture of the locker, there's like kind of a smudge that could maybe help us, maybe? Yeah. Like, I wasn't sure if it was just the computer screen, but no, it is a clear smudge there. Maybe someone else left handprints, fingerprints there. It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Ah, drink, thank you. Thank you, Hobo-senpai. I did refill my water just for this. Nice. Got about somewhat halfway. Somewhat. Maybe more like a third. ever I needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? Let's look at it again. Can we look at it again? The only problem with Panera is now my tummy's full, and now I have a food coma. Panera is so filling. Also, is that a problem? I don't think it's too much of a problem. Oh, that's just a really zoomed in picture. That doesn't help us. I mean, I guess... Oh wait, no, never mind. I got these lockers confused. The smudge is Gumshoe's fingerprint. So wait, did we figure out who did the killing or not? I mean, I still think it's Gant. Like, sure, like, Marshall was, like, at the crime scene at the time of the murder. And he was, like, in cahoots with him. At least this is my theory. But, like, I don't think it was Marshall who killed. Clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is you're grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Is it just the fact that there's still enough blood on the same hand to hit both lockers? Is that it? Is Gant the police head in the orange suit? Yes. Yes, he is. Cause, like, I don't know. I feel like if you, like, touched one locker and, like, smeared it with blood, I think if you touched another locker, then, like... I don't know. Wait, hold on. Hold on. I realize I'm talking. I'm trying to figure this out, and as I'm speaking, I realize something. Okay, so the handprint on Gumshoe's locker, clearly wearing a glove. We've discussed this. We've devised this. So if the glove was covered in blood, then why would there still be a bloody handprint on the handprint without that wasn't, like, gloved or anything? Like, why would his hand still be bloody? Why would his hand... That doesn't make sense at all. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that when drawn will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Oh, is it just the fact that they didn't include where the blood came from? Let's pray the defense is simply trying to buy time. Oh no. Very well. With all this evidence here, there's gotta be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans? Oh, is it maybe the vase? Because the vase was on the floor. The vase was on the ground. The vase is clearly, like, bloodied and everything. And we found it at the scene of the crime, but why wasn't it here? As they say back west, even a blind man can be hit with a buckshot. That is, so long as he's facing in the general direction. Oh no. It seems Mr. Wright's not sure which direction to face. It's no use. The more evidence there is, the greater the chance of me being wrong. Try to remember what the evidence room was like on the— Oh! Was it maybe— Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Was it maybe the fucking badger? All this evidence, there's gotta be something I can use. Yeah, wait a minute. How did a handprint get on the locker if the blue badger was in the way? I mean, granted, there's a handprint on the badger. It's our best friend. What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. You pay him some respects. Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Yeah, he was completely in the way. Well, what? Gasp! That's right, so as long as the Blue Badger is dancing, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. And that's probably how the handprint appeared on the Badger himself. What? So that means... Just exactly what does that mean? It means it can't be done. Are you saying blood traces were undeniably found on that locker? Don't look at me, I didn't put it there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma. On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger to the evidence room, right? Which means the crime had to have taken place before Meekins even showed up with him. After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on the locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. Just one moment, I will not allow such a far-fetched bladderdash in my courtroom. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand, in which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time... someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been... Detective Goodman, when he was really murdered. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. This will never stop being a bop. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show the evidence that proves when it occurred. Oh, I have evidence. Oh boy, howdy do I. When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims that prior to Officer Jenkins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. Only one piece of evidence that can show that. Hello, Mr. 77777. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. In order to do so, an ID card would have been required. Oh, the ID card record. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel to the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40. No! No! I didn't realize... I'm sorry, Edgeworth. I'm sorry. I love you. I didn't mean to cast out on you. See, it sucks because we all know it wasn't Miles. Like, no. No. It wouldn't be. It couldn't be. You're trying to fool me, game, thinking he did it. It's not flying. But I forget that the characters in the game don't realize that, and there's already so much doubt casted on Edgeworth, but the whole thing about, like, his car and his knife and, you know... this is exactly what Gant wants them to think. See, we're playing right into his evil plan. See, I hoped we would just instantly, like, look at the one that didn't have a name to it and be like, ah, yes, this mystery person. It was this guy. Ah, stretch boy, thank you. Let's stretch. Ah. Things are getting good. This case is getting good. At the beginning, not so much. The beginning was a bit of a headache, but now I'm into it. We got this in the bag. Ooh. Good stretches. Good stretches. Can't see, but I'm also stretching out my legs. Miles Edgeworth, what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. Remove the cosplay. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second... and drink up after a stretch, thanks. When the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have just had 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Yeah, it doesn't fit. Fortunately, that's physically impossible. Yeah, so had to have been the person at 420. 420 plays it. Excuse me as I almost choke as I swallow. There's only one other card remaining here. Mr. Sevens. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? He could have been with him. Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. Hey, welcome back, Galaxy. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777. That's 1 7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present, which means we must need another investigating day. What? Explain yourself, son. In the meantime, I remembered a childhood story I wanted to talk about. It's kinda long of going in detail, I think. Okay. If you want, we can always talk in Discord about it. I would be like, yeah, let's do it, but like, we're getting towards the end here. So I don't think we'd have time to like hear the whole thing, unfortunately. ID number 77777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Okay, so I was correct in my assumption that someone with such like a plain number would be someone of like a higher rank of authority. Someone who is a so-called executive officer. Someone Like Gant, maybe. You don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. But that's ridiculous. Just how... I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. If you would let me continue. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against the executive is accepted. Okay, cool. An official charge. You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I'd appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes. No, not to you, to her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana. Don't be stupid, she's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not all the sevens. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. The Asshole 9 incident. Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Mm-hmm. Do you need the witness to repeat his question? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least I did. Oh, so you did. So the answer is yes. I became a prosecutor in order to suppress the crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't! Oh, she did. I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. Even if it involved forging evidence. Gasps. See? That's what I'm talking about. Oh. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Ooh, that is a lot. Lana's remarks caused such a stir. The gas in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. Man, such an uproar. To be continued. Oh, jeez. Mia 2.0. Yeah, very clearly, they were both stylized, like both Sky Sisters after, like, Mia and Maya. Like, that's not a coincidence. Galaxy says, as you may have guessed, when I was a kid, me and my best friend were a big Mario fan. And more specifically, Koopalings and Bowser fan. And I don't remember which grade it was, but when I was around 8, we had this project with our youth development teacher, where we had to make our own book, and me and my friend decided, hey, let's do a Mario book. We may have went overboard and made a 10-page script with illustrations. Yes, I love it. I love it so far. Way to go, above and beyond. Beautiful. That is really great. Just like, oh, an assignment for school? Let's just make our fan fiction as the assignment. Yes, as I hinted at briefly, this is the end. You can still continue your story, Galaxy. I still want to hear it. I'm still gonna be on to listen. But as for the stream and the game itself, this is it. We're gonna pause here. We're gonna save. I'm gonna remember to save. And then we're gonna do the entire rest of the game. I'm assuming it's just gonna be like the last day. I'm assuming that the investigation bit's not gonna take a long time. We're gonna do the rest of Rise Against the Ashes this coming Friday. Also, I have news about Wednesday. I know I said Wednesday we're gonna do Metopia. However, Wednesday is when me and my roommates are gonna be closing on our house, and we have to be there physically in person. So, unfortunately, like, I don't even know how long it's gonna take. I just know that, like, there's gonna be, like, a lot of paperwork to, like, physically sign and stuff. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to skip on Wednesday's stream. Which sucks, because I was looking forward to it. Like, I enjoy streaming in general, but, like, the Metopia ones have been a lot of fun. Just, like, fooling around, like, making your own characters and stuff. But that's okay. That's okay. We can always Metopia, like, the next week. So yes, no stream this Wednesday, but we're definitely going to be back Friday for more of this. Hopefully the end of Rise from the Ashes, but if it's not, it's no big deal. Galaxy says, we were really proud of it though, so the teacher was like, alright, bring the printed story tomorrow, so we were hyped. But then plot twist, instead of making multiple books, she put all the stories in one book, and because it was only 2 pages per person, she threw away all the other pages and ended our story in the middle of a sentence. Oh no! That is really sad. Why didn't she, like, ask you guys, like, hey, trim this down a bit? Or, like, I don't know, like, helped you guys make it more, like, of a cohesive, like, ending instead of just, like, tossing all of the extra pages. Man, I'm mad for you. What the hell? Please save now so we can see and remember you save so you don't forget when you shut off the video. Okay, I'll do it on camera. Here we go. Save progress. Because I want to say that that's legitimately, like, what happened last stream. Like, I just ended things here and then didn't actually press save. This is why I hate this case. Definitely overstayed its welcome. It does feel longer. It does feel longer than the other cases, and I'm saving twice. 3 times even. Here we go. We saved. Like, it does feel longer, and again, I did not like the beginning of this, but I'm really getting into this ending bit. I still think it's Gant. It's very obviously Gant. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll unravel things as they come. Galaxy says it was still a blast to make it. Wish I could have kept the pages. Wonder if it's in the library 8 years later. People get confused by the end. If only you could, like, kick down the door at school and be like, oh yes, here is the secret ending. Here is the rest of it. That would be a lot of fun. But yes. Thank you everyone for joining us. This has been a blast. And the new mechanic should have been in the later installments, right? Right? Like, they show up later in, like, the Apollo Justice games, from what I remember, but, like, not in this trilogy. It's really sad. It's really sad. Oh, hey, you're blue now, Noah. That's neat. But yeah, I should stop I should stop. As much as I could just, like, stay forever here. No. I do also want to bring up, I actually almost forgot. I actually commissioned someone to draw art for, like, the thumbnails for these streams. So, look out for those. I want to hear what you guys think of them. So that's going to be another thing I'm going to be doing as soon as I hop off. Oh, I thought you were saying blue, as in the color of your username now. But yeah, fun times are to be had. Can't wait for Friday. Can't wait for you guys to see the new thumbnail. I think it's gonna look really great. I still gotta put it together. But yeah, until then, until Friday. Also, if you haven't already, please follow and subscribe. I appreciate it. Until Friday. Bye, everyone.